Hey guys, there's 2 great ways to support the channel. All links are in the description below. Welcome back, everyone. Got some extra special guests in the house today. Let me click this button here that says we play first. And first up, we've got D-Manny. D-Manny, how you doing? And what are you playing today?
Oh, I'm doing A-OK there, PJ. I'm playing worms, and they're out of my pants today.
I don't even know what that means, but that's okay. In the middle, we've got Delta. Delta, what are you playing today?
Hey, I'm playing Brinelin and Gilrana with the Hirugo companion. This is Simic Big Stuff.
Okay. Yeah. Simic Big Stuff sounds fun. And finally, we've got Asgard. Asgard, what are you playing?
Hey there, I'm playing Varis, Silvery Moon Ranger, and it's going to be a lot of flash green, just mono green flash things so that I can try to trigger going into the dungeon.
Cool. And I am playing Tori D'Avenant Fury Rider. This is essentially a new commander for a deck that I've been playing in paper for a while. My red creatures I want to play tribal deck. It's basically a bunch of like red creatures that get really big and then you give them trample with your commander. This opening hand is a little too risky for my liking though, so I'm going to mulligan that into, I guess it's fine.
I mean, my hand seems pretty good.
Well, I don't know the mine.
I was going to say I'm on mono green and I have no ramp in my hand, so...
Mulligan?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, 100% mulligan.
I think this one is like, just gonna pray. Spray and pray, baby. Last one had 2 colorless lands in it and like triple red. I'm like, nope, that's not gonna work.
My first time had 2 lands and nothing else. When all my deck goes 3 or more, this is kind of an issue.
Yeah.
This is my first hand that had more than 1 land.
That is a magic card, so play an Esper Sentinel. Pass the turn.
Oh boy, good card.
It's okay, my hand is almost entirely lands, so...
Well, I guess I kind of have like an ideal hand, not like a fast hand, but like an ideal type hand.
Like nice and balanced? Yeah, no, I am far from a balanced hand. The old hideaway.
Ooh, good choices here. I got a lot of worms to choose from. Give me a second.
It is like frustrating how much easier it is to activate the green hideaway than it is the red one.
The red one is actually pretty easy to trigger with opponents doing stuff, though.
It can be. It depends on what's happening on the board, right? So, if someone's playing a Voltron deck and they're not targeting you down, yeah, sometimes it's really easy to trigger that one. But if everyone's doing like blue stuff or like black sacrifice stuff, then the red one can be pretty hard to get going.
So
Something rare. I had something to do on turn 1.
Yeah.
Just spend a Rift Hour.
Oh,
Hey, it's something.
Well,
I think an order of hideaway is like for easiest to hardest is like green, red, white, black, blue. Because I don't know what the blue one does.
I think it's like 20 cards in library or something like that. Am I wrong? I don't remember.
I'll go check.
Something weird. I think we need a shuffle, so we're gonna crack this flooded strand.
There, your shuffle, Lynn.
Get a Misspell Plains.
Yeah, the blue one is a player has a 20 or less cards in their deck.
Ooh, called it. Yeah.
The black one is no one has the card in hand.
Yeet.
So
Is
not-
there playing like a
if
low
you're
to the
the-
ground game? That might happen.
Yeah, there's a reason you don't see those ones very often.
All right, PJ, you're gonna get to draw a card.
Oh, thank God.
Time to ramp. Whee!
I had 5 lands and then top decked another land, so yeah, like we need like literally anything.
I have technically ramp, but I won't see it until turn 3.
I kind of like the 3 cards I put to the bottom, so best to shuffle them back in.
I was playing Feather earlier today with some people on webcam, and I had Esper Sentinel out, and I'm like, I've got this Angel Fire Ignition. You know what? I'm gonna hit my Esper Sentinel with Angel Fire Ignition, so it gets the 2+1/+1 counters, and after that, no one could afford to pay for it. And then I hit a Walking Atlas with Angel Fire Ignition for the haste and dropped in a land, and I felt like a winner.
Yeah, usually when it's like 2 or 3, no one's gonna pay for it. But
Yeah.
1 people will pay.
Yeah, one people will pay for sometimes. 2 and 3 gets 3 especially is pretty rough. You need a lot of excess mana or nothing going on to really be able to pay for that. Oh, thank God. You guys bless me with sweet, sweet card draw.
You're welcome.
A creature. Can't cast it yet, but you know, at least there's hope.
Okay, now return the favor with the Secret Rendezvous.
Not running that one. Interesting magic card.
Are you running the new white Rex Sage?
Oh no, I didn't put that in here yet. Honestly, I didn't spend all that much time. I pulled this list from like when I built it, which is it's not even that old, probably about 2 months old maybe. And
Yeah, yeah,
mm,
because I remember I got to use it on you today. I killed your Feast and Famine paper.
yeah. Did we play today in paper? Is that a thing that happened?
That was the game I was playing Summit.
This is like my fifth or sixth game today. I've played like entirely too much Magic.
You did. Oh no, that Warhammer, the
Uh,
Loxodon.
don't you worry about that.
Now they just need to put 30K at the end of it.
Do you know if those cards are on Magic Online yet?
Don't
No,
think so.
Because I was looking
Maybe.
at the one red mono red guy there that looked kind of interesting.
This is awkward, but also good at the time. Drawing all my ramp. So here you go, PJ. Draw another card.
Yes.
This is exactly what I want to see. But now that I have 6 mana, I want to see some worms.
Yep. Yep. That's I feel you on the creatures. A little light on creatures over here.
I'm slowly cutting worms, and I'm feeling bad every time I have to cut a worm.
Yeah, no, I know that feeling. So the deck that I wanted to play for this game was going to be Level Up Tribal, and that one was getting tricky because I was at like 49 creatures, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to cut any of the Level Up creatures, but I got to figure out how to like make enough mana to make these things work. And yeah, it's just that one's going to be a very involved project to get
Yeah.
that to a nice place. Oh, really? We're doing that?
Yeah.
Like worms has the problem that dragons used to have. Like the big stings that cost 6 and plus mana.
Yeah. Don't like
Also,
that.
worms don't have like a million abilities though.
Yeah.
Just like around the table. I should have swung at D-Money just because of the land count.
I mean,
I clicked too
probably.
fast.
Yeah, I think all like once his creatures start coming into you sort of lose the ability to attack him just because he gets real big.
We like.
And I thought you were just swinging at me because I had the potential for life gain.
Also that.
I guess I quickly clicked because of life total. That's a bad habit of mine. My first instinct is to go for highest life total, and sometimes I forget to check the board.
Yeah, it's fine.
I think I'm just gonna go for my commander.
Sounds like a plan.
I really love that this thing gives red creatures trample.
Yeah, it's so much fun.
It's like 4 mana Aurelia, only better.
Oh, I didn't think about that. I gotta discard the hand size. Oops. A land, I guess. Even though it doesn't seem correct.
Oh my god, I keep drawing ramp. Well, let's get some non-basics. Card draw.
Kind of sad. There's only like 2 decks on MTGO I have right now that'll actually work correctly because it seems like I try to build every single time something, and then just something about it on MTGO is bugged.
Oh yeah, that's no good.
I know the feeling.
Did you see in the bug reports that what I got from playing Ivy?
No.
No.
Oh god. So apparently whenever Ivy gets targeted by a mutate spell that she copies, if the Ivy for some reason leaves, the creatures that were mutated just apparently become real cards and end up in your hand or in your graveyard.
Oh.
I don't know why it does that.
Yeah. Someone programmed it wrong. Is why it does that. Someone did not
Basically,
check
doesn't
their
treat-
code.
Doesn't treat it as tokens, basically.
Like I think I ended up forfeiting that game because I was like, it seems really unfair that I'm just getting extra cards
Yeah.
that I can just recast.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Blade of Selves used the myriads used to not exile, which is a real big problem because Blade of Selves is pretty good. Blade of Selves is insane when the tokens don't go away.
Yeah. They still haven't fixed the Valo Stampede. Oh man.
Is that one broken?
Yeah, it's been bugged for over a year.
Oh, no kidding.
As long as one person votes something from hand, I can put all my permanents from hand.
Wow,
Yeesh.
really? Yeah, that's a little strong.
I mean, Olivia Crimson Bride is also still bugged.
Is
They
it?
either need-
Ugh, it's like a face card of the set. That one drives me crazy.
Yeah, I know. It needs to do one of two things. Either Wizards need to update the text so it says another legendary vampire, because if it said another legendary vampire, I'd understand. But it just says a legendary vampire.
Yeah, they just coded it wrong, is what they did, right? Someone.
Yeah, I found out that if I've got 2 legendary vampires that are reanimated under Olivia's ability, they will stick if Olivia leaves. However, if one of them leaves, then the other one gets exiled.
Yep.
That's actually how it's supposed to work.
Yep. Can I get you guys to turn down your speakers a little bit if you're not wearing headphones? I think it's kind of looping back through on an echo.
Oh, I'm wearing just a headset. I don't have speakers.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Yeah,
also on headset.
I'm also on a headset.
Oh, weird.
It feels bad.
Ouch. Not doing much over there, huh?
No, no. I will say only one card in my hand costs less than 7 mana.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh.
I keep hands like that a lot. I know what that pain's like.
Oh no, it's the 3 cards I've drawn since the games have begun.
Oh, look, PJ, the only one without green here, so be jealous.
Ooh, here's a turn I think I can get down with. Play that.
Yeah, Grand Dynamo, baby.
And then my favorite of all Magic cards.
Mask of Memory?
Yes. Why? Because your life is just better when you have a Mask of Memory.
Usually, yeah.
People are like, why do you
started
run this in every deck? And I'm like, because I have a terrible time when I don't.
I started doing that too. Inspired mostly by you.
It's
I
just like,
cannot in this deck though.
yeah, like it's just so good early in the game. Even, I mean, really any point in the game. You just like, you're like, oh, one, I need more cards, and two, being able to loot away some stuff is helpful also.
Yeah, filling your yard's always helpful.
Because like someone miscalculated and discarded their land play for next turn, so now we got to try to find another land.
Your commander has trample, so me blocking and sacking Steve won't do anything.
Aha, gotcha.
That's why I kept my Gem Razor back, because I wanted to swing on T-Money, but it doesn't have trample. And
Yes, it
keeping the
does.
4/4
Oh,
back,
yeah.
it protects me from Tori.
Yep.
Your gem razor has reach and trample.
Oh, Tor.
Oh.
I keep forgetting it has trample.
Oh yeah,
For
yeah, it
some reason-
does have those keywords.
I remember the reach, but I always forget it has trample.
No, I was
I
I
get-
remember that it has tramples because whenever I play Modern, I have Gem Razor in the sideboard of my Bogles deck.
nice. I like it.
I don't want to discard
It's
any of
very
these cards.
fun.
The
I
reach
guess
is
keeping it back does protect me from Tori, at least until she gets equipped with that hammer or something.
Oh
Yeah.
man, I don't want to discard any of these. I
the
want all
reach.
of
The
them.
reach will get you more than the trample. The trample I expect. I never expect reach. It doesn't look like it should be able to reach.
Yeah, it
No, no,
probably
no.
just
Gem Razor
process
could reach.
something.
This can't
Not
be
a
right.
Turbo Catcher can't.
That can't
Yeah.
be correct.
Look, a lot of look, both gods that have a bow and arrow don't have reach. Okay.
That is weird.
Yeah, they're also giants and in the sky too.
Yeah. Come on, Steve. Let's draw. Help me in the deck so I can draw it into a non-ramp spell, please.
I want a
I've
new
played-
Iroas, and like in particular, a new Iroas that's better than the old Iroas, even though old Iroas is like pretty good.
Well,
It's probably a lot to ask for.
I want a new Rurik Star. That's what I want.
I mean, the old one, I don't know that they would make something stronger than the old one. Like they'd make it different, but
It doesn't have to be stronger. It's okay, deck. You just want me to keep on ramping. I'll keep on ramping.
Hey,
Whee!
eventually you won't have lands in deck, so you'll draw worms.
yeah, exactly.
So I'm running like 15 or 16 ramp in the deck. So
And on a side note, how much does Panglacial Worm cost?
like
No.
$1.
7 or 9.
No, no, no.
It's like 7 or 9 to. It's not cheap.
Oh, it's like
not-
that's one of the worms I recently had to cut. for
Oh
other-
no!
Oh, but
Yeah.
that one's fun to just throw it out of the deck.
Yep.
I know. I have to. I'm testing out other cards, so I have to find a spot.
Fair enough.
On the topic of
Yeah.
random, this deck runs
I-
like 20 pieces because of my. Obviously, it's not the most efficient ramp because 3 or more, but
Yep.
I need a lot of ramp because everything costs 3 or more.
Yep.
Oh, hey, I have one of those too.
I play it because it draws me a card when I cast a worm.
Very valid choice.
Yeah. So one.
So I just looked at it. Out of my entire deck, I only have 10 hits in the entire deck that would not be able to be played next turn.
Oh,
So if the Magic Gods could just give me a little push here.
Yep.
You know what else that that can be played with Gilrana and draw your card?
what? Your command. Your command.
Yes.
Oh, vigor.
Oh yeah, that's a magic card.
That's something I cannot get rid of at the moment.
Your deck doesn't have to worry about getting rid of stuff. You just like go way over the top of it.
Yeah, but it's bigger. It'll stop it.
Yeah, eventually
We'll
it'll
make it
catch
bigger.
up. It'll catch up in size.
I need to find a worm and a direct
And you
damage.
drew into
spell.
a land. I'll keep that on top.
With me cutting the Panglacial one, like I said, like I have to cut some 7 and 8 mana cards to try and fit other cards that help the deck function.
Yep.
Yeah.
Land?
And sometimes,
There you
even if you have
And
so much ramp and stuff, you can still end up with a dead hand.
Oh yeah.
Last game I played with this deck, I had 2 lands in the top 18 of my deck.
Oh, a Sabertooth.
just letting you know, Sabretooth's not in here for combo. It's in here for the fact that I can bounce flash creatures.
Makes sense.
Okay.
I originally wasn't going to put it in, and then I was like, well, bounce flash creature sounds pretty good. Next.
Well, the only person we have to worry about with Rats is PJ, because he's in Boros, like always, and maybe a Rift or something from Delta.
There's
I cannot have Rift in the deck because it's a 2-mana card.
He can have Aether Spouts, though.
You can
Oh,
have
yeah.
Aether Spouts.
Yep. Green has like a couple cards. It has Monstrous Onslaught, which can be really good in some decks, and what's the other one?
Zuri's Predation.
Azuri's Predation is the other good one.
Yeah, I
mean, and if you want to be a masochist, play the Great Aurora.
No thanks. I don't know if that's
I
a board
thought-
wipe so much as like a chaos card.
Yeah. And have they ever fixed the Great Aurora on Magic Online? Because it was bugged for a while.
I'm going to go with, if it's a bug that was on Magic Online, I'm going to go with no.
I mean, every once in a while they do fix stuff, like even older stuff. Like sometimes when they're fixing like a problem for a new card, they inadvertently fix problems for old cards. Also, I've seen that a few times.
There's a bug from a Modern Horizons card that still exists. It's the doubling of the double X card, the card that doubles X things.
Oh, yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's another reason why I can't run my Hydra deck, because I love that card and I refuse to take it out.
Yeah, because it allows you to double your X spells correctly, but your Hydra will show that it's doubled on the stack pool and goes on into play. It's not doubled anymore.
Let's keep these Mask of Memories coming.
Yeah, well, I figured.
Look at me! I finally played Brave the Sands. Do you know how hard it is to get this thing into a deck? It's like the 101st card every time.
Every time.
I've cut it like right at the end so many times.
Yeah, there's a few cards that I like that end up in that spot too. Like, you put them in the deck, you really want to play them, but you just have to cut them at the end because you're run out of spots.
Yep. It's painful.
It usually ends up being Gideon's Sacrifice.
Yeah, that's a cool card too. It's like it's cool, but it's kind of situational. You're like,
I think it's just like great for like if you've got like a token deck or something.
crap.
It's just a functional fog at that point.
I mean, the creature's the easiest one to get back, but yes, we're discarding this Inferno Titan. This Mask of Memory's been a little unkind this game.
At least there's no black deck to steal it from your yard.
That's true.
Come on.
I do run
my
Homeward
God.
Path in every deck, though, so a lot of times I'll just steal it back. I'm like, oh, free reanimation? Sweet, thank you.
I need to get one of those eventually, but it's a bit expensive.
Are they expensive in paper now? I got them all when they were cheap, like years ago.
Oh,
whenever
I
that
don't
was.
play paper anymore.
Okay.
I mean, Magic Online.
Oh, are they expensive on there? Okay.
Last time I played on paper, I played with my Necron deck.
It's like 2 ticks just about, but I tend to shy away from stuff that costs more than 1 tick.
Yeah, it's annoying enough. I am fortunate in the sense that like I own just about all the staples at this point. Like, really, when I build decks now, I only need to pick up like the very deck specific type of cards.
Oh,
That's the thing that's nice with Magic Online
Ram
at
spell
least.
number 7.
You dying over there? What'd you say?
Oh, Ram spell number 7.
Oh, ramp spell number 7. Yeah.
Hey, if you could slide some of those my way, that'd be great.
I know, right?
I made a sick play earlier today in one of my games. I was playing Ketis Acroma, and my mana was all jacked up. I had Ancient Tomb, Thran Dynamo, 2 red sources, and no white at all. So I'm like, oh god, this is awkward. And I timed it so I got Ketis into play. One player exiled a Tempt with Discovery from another, and they were going to be able to cast it on their turn. So they cast Tempt with Discovery, and then I Fury Stormed and copied it twice, and everyone said yes, so I got 7 lands off of it. Was absolutely insane. So
Oh, yeah.
the key there is Asgard, you just need to run like Fury Storm and start copying all D-Manny's ramp spells.
Yes, I will run Fury Storm in my green deck.
You'll be right back in this.
I mean, it's green. The second I start hitting some ramp spells, it's gonna start ramping at least. So
Yeah.
I've got that going for me.
So I have 2 lands per turn count.
That card. Wow, you're on 12 lands. That is, yeah, that's some pretty hard ramp right there.
I'm on 13 lands.
I made on like 2 or 3 occasions I've gotten to 12 lands on turn 6, usually with like Mana Vault, Thran Dynamo, and a lot of Sun Titan triggers with Aurelia.
Yeah. I've done.
The easy one though was Mana Vault into Prime Time when that was legal. That'll get you to
Oh,
12 lands on turn 6 real fast.
Turn 3 Sun Titan with a fetch land in the yard. We'll get you there. There's
Yeah.
2 lands per turn.
Yeah, no, everyone's like prime time is fine. Prime time is not fine. It was so like you need a very specific hand to do what you've done. Like you had to cast what 4 or 5 cards to have that many lands already. Yeah, no, I literally just cast Mana Vault and prime time, and I'm 12 lands on turn 6. Right? You're just like, oh my god.
All right, so I've officially cast half of my ramp spell. So let's not draw anymore.
Wow.
Or not draw a land.
The chunky boy in hand.
I would like a chunky boy in my hand. If stuff keeps going like this, I'll have to pay full price for borrow. That just feels.
Oh, for the activation, yeah.
Yeah, I've done it.
Okay, it's not like it's gonna hurt that much.
You'll be fine.
You're right. I'll be fine. But
You'll be fine.
You'll fine.
I was venting on Twitter the other day about how I wish Barbarian class did like almost anything else. Because so often I'm building a deck, I'm like, oh, what's the red class? Like, the red class should be like good for an aggressive deck. Nope. Dice rolling? No thanks.
Yeah.
So frustrating.
It's a bit sad.
Yeah. And
I mean, it is like a bad fervor.
yeah, right? It's like 6 mana for Fervor. You're just not going to pay 6 mana for Fervor. I wish it did like literal anything that had to do with creatures or attacking, right? Just not dice rolling.
Yeah, even if the effects were reordered or something, it would maybe a bit. If the haste wasn't the level 2 ability, would have been more useful.
Yeah, that would probably help. Yeah, that'd probably help actually. Because then you would just like not care about level 3. Because a lot of times, like on a lot of classes, you don't get to level 3 unless the game goes really long or something.
I mean, at least the card's good in what is it, Delina?
Whatever the
mono
dice decks are. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, it just sucks that like it's so narrow, right? Like dice rolling is in what 2 sets of Magic more or less.
Yeah, I hope we get more though.
Yeah. I mean, it's always just going to be a niche mechanic. Like it's you're not going to see
coin
that as
flipping.
like you're not going to see it as an evergreen mechanic. I just like if they called the card literal anything else and Barbarian class did just anything with creatures or attacking, I'd be so happy.
Two
I mean, like
lands?
I get where you're coming from, but like it's a barbarian, they get advantage.
Yeah, that's what people have tried to sell me on that, and I'm just like, I'm not sold. I'm not sold.
It's because you get advantage on strength throws, and you're throwing your dice harder.
Yeah, I mean, if like advantage in Magic would probably be like double strike, right? That'd be advantage on your.
Or at least
Oh, because that would be 2 attacks. That would be a fighter class thing.
Yeah, fighter class should probably just be an extra combat up at the top there. That last mode is like highly mediocre, but
Yeah,
like
I'd settle for just having it be double strike.
So what are the modes on Barbarian class? It's the double dice, the haste, and what's the second?
2-0 and menace whenever you roll a dice, I think, or something on a creature.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Whenever you roll 1 or more dice, creature gets plus 0 plus 2 plus 2 plus 0. Sorry, in menace. Oh, speaking of classes and sorry, speaking of classes and cards that end up on the 101 slot, for me that's rogue class.
Rogue class is cool. I like rogue class.
Yeah, but I always end up cutting it from my deck.
Why? Do you know why you cut it? Did I lose you guys?
No, my fat cat was just sitting on my headset. But she's such a good girl, though.
Why can't I equip this card? Something real weird's happening.
Yeah, something weird's happening.
There it goes. I think I hit a
It's
lag
just being
spike.
slow.
Hit a lag spike or something.
Yeah.
Reaver Cleaver, new card. Wish it wasn't $15.
Mm-hmm. Forget if they were cheaper whenever the set was coming out and people thought that it was going to come out.
I'm not entirely sure, but I don't think so. It seems like a card that just you look at it and you're like, oh, that seems really strong.
All right.
It must have been less than 2 ticks at some point because I do have one.
Okay. Yeah, Magic Online's not too bad. I'll talk about paper. Paper, they're like $15.
Oh, paper, yeah.
I'm not sure what they are on Magic Online, but
I mean, I figured they'd
About
be a lot.
46 cents.
Oh, because they got reprinted in Dominaria United Commander. That's why.
yeah.
So where's this going, baby?
Why, are you trying to shoot my thing? Not at you?
I don't know. I'll think about it.
We'll
Yeah,
poke
not-
Asgard. I haven't attacked Asgard yet.
Oh.
Come on, you have a 4/3. Block it and make it indestructible.
I mean, I could do that.
Show him who's boss.
I do have a flash spell in hand.
Might regret this.
Don't let him get like 1,000,000 treasures is the answer.
It's only 4.
It'll be fine. It's gonna get to my turn, and then I'm gonna cast Bane of Progress
That'd be
Sounds like a
with
terrible.
plan.
all my 4 mana.
That'd be. I've seen some crazy Bane of Progresses over this past week.
I need to get one of those.
Yeah, it's really good against most of my decks.
Well, you do play Boros that hinges on artifacts.
Yep, that I do. Hey, mana. Love mana.
Man,
I feel like with treasures being everywhere, cards that are the blue artifact bounces like Hercule's Recall are also like really good now.
Yeah, like we're in a place where you probably need to have some kind of treasure hate in your deck, because you will just get destroyed if you don't. Yeah, I think I'll chill like that. I faced I don't even remember who it was. One of the new red black treasure commander. Can't remember the name. Not Prosper. I think it's one of the ones with the background. And stupid.
So the dragon with the Iron Throne background.
I don't even know. All I know is that I got absolutely smoked. They played like Guild Artisan, and they were making like, I don't know, like 6 treasures a turn, and it was just by turn 6 they had generated an additional 20 mana of treasures. And it's just like, how do you beat that? The answer is you don't. You lose to it.
Cool. I have exactly enough. Woo!
You see a worm?
Yeah, it's my first worm. There were 3 worms in that mosswood. Wait, why couldn't then I Oh, I didn't do it right.
Ooh. You forgot to click it?
Yeah, I forgot to click it.
Ouch.
That's
That sucks.
stupid programming.
That sucks.
It does. Just draw a card now and shame.
Gotta do the old shame scoop. God, I don't miss playing Open Magic Online games at all, because, like, mistake like that, someone would just leave.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Just be like, oh, I made a mistake, bye. Like, awesome.
Or you play a card they don't like.
Yep. Cool. Thanks for wasting everyone's time. I appreciate that.
People scoop and get mad over a wrath.
Yep. Yeah, people get mad about just literal anything.
That goes with any online game. I was playing some Call of Duty earlier today with 2 of my friends. We had a 4th person fill in for Warzone, and he ended up dying. We could have bought him back, but he just ended up quitting, and we won the rest of the game by ourselves with just 3 of us versus
I'll
the
do
rest
it without
of the
you.
4-player teams.
Yep. I've been
Like,
playing.
you just could have stayed and you would have won, but no.
Yep. I've been playing some StarCraft 2, and like sometimes it's just easier if your ally leaves, because I play 2v2. And I'm just like, you get all their resources, and like, okay, I can just make a lot of whatever I want. Battlecruiser time. Here we go.
In that way, you were also thinking about like everything that you've already got at that point.
Yeah, you know what's interesting about that game is
phenomenal.
that, like, yeah, you don't have to worry about trying to coordinate with your ally, right? Like, you're like, oh, I set all of my units are together and not split across the map, so they get picked off one at a time, right? You're just like, some ways this seems a lot better. Maybe I should just play 1v1. I don't know.
And then everybody on 1v1 ends up being
Godly.
hyper aggressive, and you have no idea how they even did the thing.
Right, Diamond League, like, no thanks. I don't have that kind of time in my life.
The closest I've gotten to doing that was I used to play Command and Conquer,
Okay.
and we were doing with randomized allies for at least you'd always have one person allied with you,
Yep.
and I was like, all right, this is great, this is fun. And then I was like, you know what, my one friend's not online, I'm gonna go into singles. I'm gonna play my same commander that I always play. And then I had barely researched like 3 things, and they were already attacking my base with advanced units. I was like, how did this even happen?
Yep. Yeah, the skill curve in those games gets like really steep.
Yeah, the closest I can play to a skill game like that is League of Legends.
Yeah.
And even then, I can only play on a diamond level. I can't go any higher than that.
I'll tell you what though, like I think MIT published an article saying that Magic is literally the most complicated game on Earth. And
Yeah.
who's to argue, right? Like, so many rules.
You can make a Turing machine with it.
Yeah, I saw the Kyle Hill episode where he did that. I have to watch that one again because that was like interesting and thought provoking, and I need to like watch it again to fully understand it.
Yeah, it was really cool.
I'm kind of sad. The last time I went to Vegas, it was last year. He was there, and I never got to run into him because he was kind of like he was wearing like a sweatshirt, kind of keeping a low profile, just because he'll gather a crowd very quickly if he's just kind of out in the open. But I wanted to have a quick chat with him, and I never got to, and it was very sad. So maybe next time.
Darn, I was trying to find a line that didn't have me discard, but forget to take into account I was drawing a card whenever a creature entered. Guess I'll get rid of the tap land.
Sounds like a plan.
Got a midnight clock. I always kind of forget about that card when I'm playing blue. Should probably play it more.
It's a really good card.
It's like one of 2 or 3 mana rocks in this deck.
Yeah.
One of the other being the Great Henge because it's a busted card.
Yeah, Great Hinges.
And in paper, it's like $60, $70.
Is it? I love telling the story, so I'll tell it again. I was playing a deck. I can't remember which deck I was playing, but it was like an otherwise very tame deck. Like, really, it wasn't the type of deck that like just pops off, especially early in a game. I stole someone's Great Henge. I can't remember with what. And it literally just turned my deck into cast a creature, draw a card, cast a creature, draw a card, cast a creature, draw a card, right? And like, I'm like, oh, I just did the green thing. This is what all green decks do, right? Just, I kept casting and drawing, and my, very average deck went from average to insane simply because of the Great Henge.
Yeah. And all of them had a 1/1 counter on them. They were bigger.
I'll tell you what, a lot of the paper games I've played over the past 2 weeks, it is really hard to keep creatures in play. Like, the board state that we have right now would be like super atypical of most of the games that I've played. It's just like board wipe. Oh, do you want to finish the game with only lands in play? Cool. Let's, And I'm like, I'm not suggesting that games shouldn't be interactive, but like in a deck like this where it's like, you probably need you either need like 2 really good creatures or probably more like 4 pretty decent ones to kind of do anything. And so many games now I find that like there's either 0 removal or you literally can't keep any permanents in play. Like there doesn't seem to be a middle ground most of the time.
Yeah, it seems like you're either playing always to I need to check the threats or I'm going to be a threat, somebody needs to check me.
Yeah. I don't remember the game ever being like that, a few years back.
Yeah, it's very strange.
Yeah.
We can also say that everyone's gotten like better like at building decks in general. So there's also better threats in general.
Yeah, I mean there is some of that stuff, but it's just weird, like the sort of I don't know, just like the all or nothingness of it. I think.
It used to be a lot of you would have to go out of your way to either, you'd have to find the weak spots in your deck to patch up the holes, and now it's just like, well, if you think there's a weak spot, add about 5 more board wipes, and you won't have a weak spot anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something that I think has become more popular line out of that. Why play spot removal? Just play board wipes instead.
Mm-hmm. The only place that spot removal is any good now is EDH.
Yeah.
It's so tricky because here's my thoughts on removal right now. Like I fully think that removal is in probably the weirdest spot in the game, as I try to not mess this turn up. Because, so the big thing you have to do now is that you need to break apart people's engines, and spot removal is really good for that. But the other problem that you're running into is that creatures are just really good now. So if someone just has a lot of really good creatures, that requires a board wipe. And it sort of just becomes like, unless you have a Ristic Study in play and you've drawn a million cards for some reason, it's hard to have both types of removal on hand. Like I would say most starting hands don't have a board wipe and a piece of spot removal in them unless you're playing like Esper Control or something. But it's this tough place of like, the threats are so diverse, but also so powerful that like you need all of the most specific answers like immediately. Like you don't have time to, wait for them. I love this card. It's not amazing, but Wildfire Devils is let's roll the dice, see what happens.
Who gets
It's funny, and I can appreciate funny little guys doing funny little things.
Yeah, exactly. What do we get? What did I hit? It says cast. Click a card to cast it.
You got my Eureka moment.
Oh, yeah. All right. Where is it? I gotta find it.
In his
My
graveyard.
exile zone, I think.
Okay, I found it. It's in your exile zone. What does this one do? Draw 2 cards, put a land. Yeah, I love it. Perfect.
It's a fair growth spiral.
What are we pumping up?
It's a fair growth spiral unless you're paying 0 for it.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's really fair when we don't have to pay anything for it.
Everything is fair if you don't have to pay for it.
So Wildfire Devils was actually the original reason that I built Red Creatures I Want to Play Tribal, because it's the type of card that like just isn't quite good enough to make it in like most decks, and I'm like, man, I want to run this card. It just looks interesting, right? And so then I'm like, what if
To
I
me,
make a
it's
deck that's just all of the Red Creatures I like or want to play that don't fit other places?
it's
One thing I find with the cards with like Wildfire Devils, sometimes you end up, oh, none of my opponents are playing instants for sorceries.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
does happen. That does happen. I've been there.
that's it's what Charmbreaker Devils wishes it was.
Yeah. Charmbreaker Devils is also a pretty cool card. Like if Charmbreaker Devils was like 5 mana,
Yeah.
it's
Well,
6.
Yeah.
If it was 6 with an ETB, it'd probably be fine. At 5 mana, it's just a little, or 6 mana with waiting to untap. It's pretty slow.
Well, if it was at least a 6 mana 4/4 with first strike, it would be good. At that way, waiting you can at least block.
Oh
with it.
yeah, yeah. If a little more toughness wouldn't hurt it either, but
The, the first strike.
first strike,
has-
yeah, anything, right? Because yeah, 6 mana 4/4 is just. I was testing out a card. Do I need to do anything else before combat here?
You need to click the button that goes to the second main phase.
Got it.
You did a thing,
Is it this one?
maybe.
Pretty sure it's that one.
Oh, 2 combats, boo.
Karlach is really good, man.
Yeah,
Now,
at least for
go ahead. Sorry.
once I'm well positioned against it.
Yeah, you got blockers. Probably not coming in there.
I would.
Blockers and vigor, but making a first strike largely irrelevant.
Yeah.
I
I
would've
have the don't shoot on pathetic tactic.
I would. If I clicked correctly, I would have had a big blocker.
So, my thoughts on Karlach. I'm not so much into the speculation game anymore. Like, I think there's just the amount of product being printed. Like, for me right now, I think it'll be hard for recent cards to really gain value, just because just millions and millions of copies of them have been printed. However, when I did like some of those extra combat videos with the tier ranking, most of the extra combats are pretty expensive, especially the ones that come on a creature. And Karlach is, I don't know, like $2 or less or something. And for an extra combat on a creature that's like also pretty good, I do think that you probably can't go wrong picking a few up in the $2 or less price point. Now, will they go up? Tough to say. There are probably a lot of them out there. Like, it's not Mirog, which, last I looked, I think it was about $5, but and it's not Aurelia, which is $25, but for a creature with an extra combat on it, it's been very, very good. I think it's Asgard's turn over here.
It's my turn last time.
Well, you can take the smaller one. Someone else will get the bigger one after this.
Yeah.
We get a trample trigger, and then we get a combat trigger. Because it also has first strike, right? Like, if amongst the... Yeah, right? And, like, just helpful. Just really helpful. I bought,
That and the fact that Carlite herself doesn't have to attack to get the trigger is really nice.
Yeah. Like, I think I bought, like, 10 copies or something stupid like that, because I'm just like, yeah, I can put this in a lot of decks.
Chump block it. You want to.
How are we doing on keywords here? We got first strike, vigilance, and trample. Not bad. Not bad.
And I could throw the beast in front of it for just a little less damage.
Slightly less damage helps.
Yeah, you do what you got to do.
Yeah.
That does cut down my mana, so that's probably actually a reasonably decent idea.
And it comes on commander damage too.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. I think putting the beast in front's probably front of the pain train.
Choo choo.
also circling back with just cards you wanted to play with. Like,
Oh yeah.
I was looking at obviously Glen Ledger Archmage is a great card.
The counterspell
Nobody's
one.
gonna say yeah.
Yep.
Nobody's gonna say it's not.
Right.
But like it's got persist and like it feels like nobody ever does anything with it. So I put it into like I started building an Optimus Prime persist deck. That didn't work out. That's the only card with persist that ended up staying in it. But bolstering at the end of every step, at the end of every end step, as you go.
I remember that.
Oh, that seems good.
Yeah, you've got a 1 mana counter spell for everybody's turn.
That's pretty
Yeah.
good. That is pretty good.
And like if you need to, you can use it a second time. but there's like also Crystalline Crawler that you can take off a +1/+1 counter to make it so that you can make 1 mana.
Yeah, that semi-lock was kind of a pain in that other game.
Oh yeah, that's right. You were in that game.
Yeah, and the way I ended up breaking it was because Brinelin is a creature, and he bounces
Yep.
stuff. So I just kept bouncing the Archmage, so I could play my turn.
Yeah.
All right.
I swear, the last turn of that game, I played 18 mana for Brinelin because it got countered the first time, and I still had enough mana to recast.
Yeah, I was hoping that it would slow you down slightly. Apparently, it did not.
Oh, it doesn't pump itself, does it? Oh.
Nope. Come on, click it. Thank you.
What's this do? Hexproof and indestructible. Wow, that seems good.
It is.
Yeah, I need to get some of those.
It's a
I
green
need to throw
black.
that in my Hydra deck.
Yeah, I'm not thrilled about green continuously getting protection spells because
At
it
least
needs
most of them are
some
single
weakness.
target.
Like the color needs a weakness.
I can
Yeah.
now block and kill your commander. Get wrecked.
Really? Oh yeah, that is a concern, isn't it?
At least some damage ripples through,
Yes. He'll get 4 treasures instead of.
and another Massive Memory trigger.
Yeah, I mean that's something.
Oh, it's got
but my worm
hexproof. Well,
survives.
that's not gonna work. That's not gonna
Yeah.
work. Yeah, I think you got it.
Boom.
Think you got it.
Quickly play a target opponent sacrifices a blocking creature.
Wing shards?
Wing charge is for attacking, right? Is it always a block?
I mean, I'm attacking. Well, I'm
Yeah.
attacking.
Well-
Someone else needs to play wing shards, is what I'm suggesting. Yeah, I'm really kind of like taken aback by like how different this game is going compared to the like 8 or so games I've played in paper this week. Because again, in those games, I only ever have lands in play because everything is destroyed every single turn.
Helps that it's 2 mono greens in the Simic deck.
Yeah. I mean, normal like if this were if I were playing in my paper meta, the green decks would have already won by now. Like it just would have been
Oh, yeah.
big and dumb.
Well, if I didn't draw 7 ram spells, but I only drew 5 and drew other stuff, I probably would be more of a threat here.
Yeah.
And my
I
deck
did the cardinal
is-
sin of playing only 36 lands instead of 37.
Yeah, that's
and
you
so-
can't be doing that on Magic Online, man. That's not okay.
Right? It's ridiculous.
It
It
is
should count for
ridiculous.
37 because I have a modal double face card, but no.
Yeah. It is funny how that will punish you.
I'm sorry, I'm playing 35. I'm a bad boy.
We need to get cards out of hand though, because we have a lot of crap in hand.
Just replay Commander, discard everything. Ascend from Avernus.
I've cast a couple of Send from Avernuses this week, and it's in the Angel deck, so it's crazy what it brings back. It's like Gisela, Sarah's Emissary, Bruna. Like, I think I've flipped Brizella maybe twice in the past week.
Nice.
You flipped it today.
Yeah, I did it today. I think I might have did it one other time earlier in the week. Yeah,
It was in the same game. It was in the same game. You wrapped your board, then you ascended, and then you got it back.
Oh yeah, it was in that game. Yeah, Ascend from Avernus is exactly the card that White needed, like 100%.
I feel like the reason that everybody's running more board wipes now is that mass reanimation is just much better, or just recovery in general is better for every deck at this point.
Yeah,
So like, what's the point of spot removal when you can just blow everything up and then ascend to Avernus and then just bring back your entire board?
yeah, right. There is some of that. So I mean, it's sort of a chicken and the egg kind of thing, where like, if people are playing more board wipes, then you need more mass reanimation. If no one plays a board wipe, like Ascend from Avernus is sort of a dead card. Which if it's in your opener, you're like, huh, this will be good eventually, but it's not good until like something actually happens.
Yeah. Oh my god. I bought a box of Brothers War because I couldn't resist, and I have half of Titania, half of Urza, and half of Mishra.
Oh,
Oof.
That's
Very fun.
disappointing.
I don't know what would have been worse if I would have pulled like 2 of the same halves, if that would have been worse, or if it's worse to have all of them but only half of them.
Hey, if you're lucky, you got the not cheaper, more expensive half.
I mean, I got the for Urza, I didn't get the more expensive half. I got the Mike Stone and the Meat Stone, and same with Mishra. I got the Dragon Engine, and then with Titania, I got the land.
Well,
In fact, I just realized I didn't get any of the actual creature parts.
Whoops. Yeah, I had a pretty good turn. Pass the turn.
All right, let's see what I can do here.
Make them worm go big.
I will try.
Yeah, like
My defense got much worse.
I really just can't get over how vastly different this game is going compared to the last 8 or so games that I've played.
We'll just get into another game, and then somebody will bring Board Wipe Tribal. We'll be fine.
No thanks. I played like a 2.5 hour game earlier with
Okay,
essentially that.
Let's do this correctly.
Everyone was playing like lower power decks also, so like when that happens, even the things on board aren't immediately deadly. It's like, oh, I have a bunch of things, but they don't kill you. Like they don't speed the game up really. They just create more triggers and do little things.
There we go. I wish I had you as a blocker last.
So for, the probably 2 years or so that I've had red creatures I want to play tribal, Markov Blademaster was also like one of the marquee cards that I wanted to get in there. So the plan has always been cast Blademaster on 3, cast Aurelia Exemplar on 4, give it the 2-0 and double strike and punch someone for 6, get some counters, then like do it again the next turn. It's happened one time and someone immediately played removal. Like, I just never draw them early in the game, and it's just been...
Marco Blindmaster is one of the cards that made me want to do Boros Vampires. I still
yeah.
haven't played that deck.
Huh. I haven't even thought about that. Is there enough red vampires to do that?
Yeah, there's actually a good amount of red vampires. Not all of them are good, but...
Okay. Yeah, there's some white ones too, now that I'm thinking... Yeah, there's some white ones too, now that I'm thinking about it. Who would be the commander for that deck?
I just went with Odric because he's on Tribe, but
oh god,
it's probably
so
much better.
Yeah, so bad. So, are there any like choose a background guys that would be good for that?
There's
Maybe,
the
I
one
haven't checked them.
there's the goad one, I guess, that things with lower power are goaded, and then give it flaming fist so it has double strike.
Oh yeah, that seems pretty wild.
All right.
I think that the goad one is a vampire as well.
Is it?
Gonna poke at you, PJ, for hitting me. Poke. Yes, I'm gonna go underground and slide around.
I deserve this.
Are you
Could I block?
blocking?
I could probably block, but I'm not gonna block.
You're not gonna block? Cool.
Hatred for $1 million.
No, I'll draw 6 cards. It's fine. Either way, I was happy. Either way, you block, I get rid of something, or I draw 6. I'm happy.
Markov Blademaster. That just makes me think of Innistrad Standard.
Yeah. Yep.
My one buddy, he just ran red flag vampires, and that thing just came down all the time, and it was so hard to stop if it just got going.
Yep. I was playing. So that's probably the period in my life where I played the most Magic during original Innistrad and Dark Ascension. I was drafting like every week, and I was playing Standard like once to twice a week. That was probably where I was at like my peak as a competitive player. I was really, really playing a lot at that point. And like, I mean, not every single time, but I would say about 80-85% of the time I would finish in like the top 5 for whatever event was going on. So like, it's doing pretty well.
That's what I was doing around the time of the Theros block, or not Theros, Cons.
Oh, yep. I didn't play that one. I kind of took a break during Cons, but it did seem very cool.
Cons Standard was actually super fun.
That was the one that was really expensive, right? Because of the fetch lands?
It got expensive because of the fetch lands, but it was still really cool because I was actually running White Green Heroics from Theros still.
Okay.
And that made it so that it was pretty easy, but like obviously the deck would have been better with the fetch lands. But it was the fetch lands didn't like make the format it warped the format later, but at the beginning of it, it didn't seem like it was like such a big deal because, nobody had them for a little while.
Yep.
As soon as everybody got a hold of them, though, everybody was playing all sorts of 4-color shenanigans.
Yeah, exactly. It was just like 4-color good stuff, and like every deck was like, I don't know, this had like the same 35 cards in common probably, and like, oh, my deck is 4 cards different than yours because I opted for one different color, right, or something like that. But
the biggest problem for me though at that time is I was just super competitive in card games. So so Mondays I would go out and I would compete in the local Yu-Gi-Oh tournament. Tuesdays I'd go out and compete in the Final Fantasy tournament.
Delta, did you?
Fridays I would go for F&M, and then Saturdays there was another Magic event.
Oh wow, yeah. It sounds like you were playing a lot.
I played like nearly every TCG just to at least try it once.
Okay.
Nice.
Obviously, Magic is my favorite, but I still like playing Yu-Gi-Oh with the Master Duel virtual one that they have out now for pretty much everything. It's been a lot of fun to get back into it that way.
Yeah.
But I also have been playing a lot of Digimon, which I've been playing since that game was having its first set come out.
Wow, man.
It's
Yeah.
amazing, like how much you tend to either get better or screw up whenever you play a lot of TCGs, because you'll either think that a mechanic works in one game, and it very clearly doesn't, because the rules of Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh are very, very vastly different.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I get
Because
that too sometimes.
oh my god, Yu-Gi-Oh has the worst thing in the world, and it's not the chain mechanic, even though that's terrible. What it is if the full effect of a card cannot resolve, the card effect cannot resolve at all.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So, like, with Magic, if you had something that said destroy a creature and destroy an enchantment, if the creature got indestructible, you would still destroy the enchantment.
Yep. Yep.
But in Yu-Gi-Oh, if you can't destroy the creature, then you wouldn't be able to destroy, the spell or trap.
Yeah, that seems very annoying. What's this thing do?
Oh, okay.
Bouncy house.
Bouncy house? Ugh. No one likes bouncy house.
What you bouncing?
Probably something FPJs.
What?
mean, yeah,
Why?
I turned his guy into an elk.
That you did. You want to bounce that one? I need to get that one back.
No. Don't worry, PJ. I still have shenanigans like I do in all my creature decks. I love shenanigans.
You want to talk about shenanigans? I've got 9 cards in hand.
Nah, I want to talk about shenanigans. Liquid Mail Torque with shenanigans.
Yeah, I need to get some of those because I'm starting to put Indomitable Archangel back into some of my equipment decks.
Man, just being able to get back a Shatter every turn because you have a Mana Rock that turns something into a thing. Yeah, great. I play in my Grixis deck that I'm no longer going to play with you guys.
We're going to workshop a deck right now because you mentioned that.
Okay.
I've been wanting to build a mono-red, sort of like aggro control kind of deck where I basically want to use like all of the spell redirects like Fury Storm, Wild Ricochet, Will's Reversal, Bolt Bend, like Dualcaster Mage, Reverberate, like all that kind of stuff. But I'm not trying to make it a Spell Slinger deck. Because like I know that it very quickly crosses into just like, copy a mana spell a bajillion times and then burn everyone out. But
You need to find many creatures that deal like damage to a thing to start off with.
well, more so my question is like, who do I run as the commander? Like I was looking through all the commanders and like I was looking at Neheb because Neheb's just good because it makes a lot of mana. But like then describing what I just described, I'm like, no, that deck will just win in like 6 turns. Like basically like it was a big spell slinger deck, right? So
Play original Jaya.
that's the tap 7 mana 6 damage each thing.
Well, that's the third ability, yeah.
Yeah. I've looked at that. That deck has a lot in common with Ashling. It is something I've thought about, but the problem with that is that like that ability is very mana intense.
Well, you can also try and change colors of things if you. I'm not sure how you do that in red much, but Painter Servant, so you can destroy the blue permanents or whatever.
Yeah.
You already have the perfect commander for it. You have Ashling.
No. Believe me, I wish I could fit that stuff into my Ashling deck because I love Ashling, but Ashling is the most mana hungry commander I think I've ever played. Like, and being in mono red, you just don't make that kind of mana. So it might be better with Jaya because, if you think about the cost of like trying to get, all the counters on Ashling and versus the cost of just activating Jaya one time, I think like Jaya is you're gonna have a lot more mana available to you throughout the game. So maybe it'll work there. Maybe that's the one we're going with, but we'll see. I was thinking about like maybe Urabrask, either of the Urabrasks, and just like because then also just having some creatures and kind of having a presence on board while I'm doing all this kind of trickery stuff.
I just want to say that I cascaded into the one counter spell in my deck.
Whoops.
That happens.
Swing and a miss.
Which spell? Which one was it?
The Cascade one.
Oh, okay.
Because I have a Cascade sub-team. A Cascade sub-team in the deck.
And
because if I'm going to play big spells, might as well play the ones that
you should play a spell.
More stuff.
You should just play Spell Swindle. So in case you cascade into it, you can just counter the spell you just that was cascading into it, so you get treasures.
Yeah, I probably should.
Yeah, it's basically a free spell at that point. You did nothing.
5. Yep, can't do much with the flyer.
Fly
Nope.
like
You know what? I was just looking through my collection personally, and you know what might be a cool commander for that would be Slicer Hired Muscle out of the Transformers set.
I don't know what that one does. Let's see if we can.
Slicer is the one that pinballs around.
Oh yeah, someone was
Yeah.
talking about that when we got in voice chat here.
Yeah, it was me. I still haven't tested my Slicer deck because he's a bit too fast for my usual play group.
Double strike
So-
haste. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may have target opponent gain control of Slicer. That's kind of tricky. I don't know. We'll see.
It just loves having stuff like swords on it
Where are
because
we? We're in
you still
Deltas.
control the sword, so it trigger when Slicer
Yep,
hits.
yeah,
the
you-
opponent,
Yeah,
get
like
the trigger.
you trigger the feast and famine when it hits someone else. Yeah, it's the
or
assault
the mask
suit.
of memory or stuff like that.
Yep, it's the assault suit type play. It's always a good time.
All right, something playable off the top, please.
I wish I could help you, Asgard. I wish I could. I'm not playing I don't have a Field of Ruin in play. I have the better Field of Ruin, the one that doesn't ramp everyone else.
See, that's why I love the regular Field of Ruin.
I still have Field of Ruin in here, so if I draw it, I'll play it and crack and kill. I don't know, this Mosswood Bridge that Delta misplayed last turn.
It's subtle, but if you see a Field of Ruin in play, whatever mana you leave untapped when you pass the turn, you should leave untapped in a way to cast whatever spell, like instant, you might be able to cast in the event that someone activates Field of Ruin. It's one of those things that's like, it's easy to miss, but if you see a Field of Ruin or a person likes to play it, just leaving the right land untapped to whatever spell you're trying to leave out.
But PJ, Demolition Field is just better nowadays.
Yeah. But Demolition Field is generally going to be better, but Field of Ruin is just in circulation more.
Yeah,
I mean,
Oh,
Ghost Quarter is even better than Demolition Field, so...
yeah, I love Ghost Quarter because I use inside multicolor deck just like a fixed bad.
Well, the big problem is like you losing the land, right? Like you lose the land
Yeah.
on Ghost Quarter, and for a lot of decks, that's painful.
Like if you're for you, PJ, if you're playing, since you play Boros, you can play Flagstones of Trocare plus a Ghost Quarter, so you can play Ghost Quarter your own Flagstone.
Yeah, it's. I mean,
It's weird, but you have to sometimes.
it's weird, and you can do that, but like honestly, there's so many non-basics now that like I just try to keep my basic land count as high as I can because of like Hearth and Home and Sword of the Animist and Amaria Shepherd, and like honestly, like over that play, I'll take an extra planes over the Flagstones.
Yeah, I understand that.
Just because like if anyone's shooting a land, the Flagstones is the last one they're gonna shoot, right? Like, and it's still fairly uncommon for all of your lands to get blown up. So
I don't think I need to do anything.
I have forgotten how many funny little dudes they have for mono red commanders because I just got interested when we were talking about it.
yeah,
I forgot Zergo Bellstriker was a card.
yep, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of funny little dudes, we got these Wildfire Devils again.
What you gonna get? What you gonna get?
Show me some ramp. Show me some. What's funny is whenever I play this card, I'm usually just hoping on ramp. We get a thing.
Oh, you got something from yourself.
I get
All right.
something from myself. That's a possibility. Oh yeah, we should probably do that one. That seems like it's
I get the
Yeah.
feeling some of my stuff is getting contrabanded.
exile instant or sorcery, cast a
Yeah.
instant or sorcery.
Ooh, cast.
Yeah, I mean Great Henge and Zendikar Resurgent are like insane magic cards.
Yeah, crush. Yeah, crush
Yeah.
Counterman. I'm
yeah,
good. Yeah.
that's
Yeah, I definitely deserve to get those blown up.
yeah.
I'm sad
that's-
at exile because I have ways to return from yard, but
Yeah.
like all my stuff that matters got exiled. So
Exile removal's gotten so good because it's too much indestructible.
Yeah, also like we were
Yeah.
talking about earlier, everyone plays so much reanimation now that like exile does become really important because most things don't stay dead when you kill them. So
Yeah.
no, it isn't. Often enough, I go instead of playing, not playing enough removal, put in more grave hate. I'll just exile the stuff instead.
Yeah.
yeah, it makes a big difference. We
I
have
do
lots to do this
have
turn.
I do have one green damage spell that can technically exile a creature when it like kills the creature. I was like, wow, there's actually a card for that. Amazing.
What is it?
Oh, it's something from something beatdowns from like Capenna. It's like 3 mana. It costs 2 less if it's targeting a black permanent. Creature you control deals damage to equal to its power to target creature or planeswalker. If that would die, exile instead.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh, cool. One way to exile an annoying thing if I kill it.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Exile
bouncer
is
speed
really
down.
important.
What?
Bouncer speed down.
Yeah, Bouncer's Beatdown. Yeah. I don't run fight spells. I run I deal damage to you and kill your thing spells.
Yep.
Yeah, fight spells.
Fight spells are a bit risky.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, because a lot of times when you play, if you have an instant speed fight spell, like, a lot of times you can just cast it when everyone's tapped out, and, 9 times out of 10,
Yeah.
you should be all right, but...
I mean, all my direct damage to creature spells are... I'm not playing sorcery speed. There are some good ones that are sorcery speed, but I'm like, sorcery, but you're real good.
I have so many cards in hand, this is, like, pretty difficult, to be honest.
Yeah, I mostly bounce the higher mana cost stuff.
Yeah, I noticed.
I mean, I bounced the Aurelia because I removed the one flying blocker you had. And then I removed the Cleaver because that gives you mana and
Yeah,
takes
no, I
mana
mean,
to put it back on.
yeah, exactly. All very good ideas.
Not the cleaver! He's got the clamps! So, PJ, how do you feel about how White's been in the last, I don't know, year, I'll say?
Give me a sec. I'm trying to figure out this turn. I've so many things to do. Need more unblockable. That's what we need. It's getting better, right? But there's still... I mean, the main problem now is that, like, the cards that allow you to make the mana you need to compete in a stronger game are all, like, $35 or more, right? That's sort of the issue we're looking at now, is that things need to be more affordable. Because, like, Smuggler's Cash came out, I don't know, sometime in the last year-ish, and I haven't looked recently, but that was very expensive, but it's, like, a very helpful card that does solve a lot of problems. It's still just tricky, like, because, at the same time that White's getting better, everyone else is also getting, like, faster, more consistent, like, the consistency is really the big thing. You just see so much consistency now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we're going on this guy.
That guy right there?
Yep, that guy right there.
Oh my god, not that guy. Scared of that guy.
I wanted to do the double strike one, but I don't think it's going to pan out here.
The worst thing is good when you actually have more power on it.
Yeah, I've been trying to use this card a lot over the past year or so, and, like, it is surprisingly harder than you think to actually get it to do what you want it to do, for the reason that I mentioned earlier, is that so many games come down to, I have only lands in play. Like, I never get an attack off with this thing once you get past, like, turn 6 or something like that. And
Yeah.
that's been, like, super frustrating. We'll put this on there, too.
Might as well. Ask a memory, baby.
Yeah, the ground's pretty clogged up in this game, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Delta looks like he wants to be attacked.
So, Delta, should I allow that?
I mean, you do what you want.
I mean, I don't know. He'll probably reanimate Infernal Titans. That's his best thing. It's only creatures, right?
Only creatures.
Yeah, it'll be Infernal. I want to see how this works with this effect anyway.
Well, that makes me sad.
There we go. A Swordsy. I wish I had another thing. For the last, I do not.
It's worth pointing out, like, Showdown of the Scalds is... That last mode on Showdown of the Scalds, the last two, is so much better than you give it credit for. Like, making your stuff bigger is, like, in a deck that wants to attack, is, like, a pretty big deal. And especially,
Here you go,
I mean...
Delta. Here you go, Delta. Now you can block.
Really? Just trying to get my Inferno Titan. Just want my Inferno Titan.
Too bad.
Crap, and now it's going to die? Really?
Wow.
That's not how I thought that turn was going to go.
No, you did not. Knew you weren't going to expect.
Okay, we got to discard. Get rid of that. Yeah, get rid of that, I think.
Do you know how many basics you're running in your deck?
Like, I think something like 18.
Okay. So you'll be...
You're gonna vitriol us?
Oh, how'd you know?
Oh, that's not good.
Because I love that card. I don't play in this deck because I have a lot of non-basics.
It's a way for me to get rid of gods I can't get rid of.
When I played that Mosswood Bridge, I picked the card that I didn't mind losing because I'm playing it in front of a Strip Mine, so I was like, that can go at any moment.
Agreed.
It was Rishkar's expertise, but I've been discarding basically every turn to hand size, so...
Yep.
I
On
didn't
this.
quite
That
need it
hurts.
right now.
There's a lot of
Happy I
basics in
didn't
my
crack my
graveyard.
treasure.
Well, at least lands come in untapped. At least that's fair enough. If I played a lot more like utility lands and stuff, I could make this into a bad ritual.
Yeah, this is a crazy card. Oh my god, I only have 5 left. Wow. Yeah, this is why you run more basics and not flagstones. I mean, I guess this would be one of the rare scenarios where actually flagstones gets blown up, but
Yeah.
yeah, but oh man, that is a big loss of mana.
All right. See what else I can do here.
Why didn't I get my lands?
Did it ask you?
You didn't
Yeah.
have any. You didn't have any non-basics though.
He lost Druid class though.
I
No.
lost Druid Class, Renata, and my treasure token.
You only get a land for each non-basic destroyed.
Oh, yeah.
Did not read the whole thing.
Yee. That's why I tapped all my non-basics first.
That it doesn't come up enough that I just did not read it.
Yep.
I know.
I saw one of those come down with an Aven Mind Sensor in play once, and you only get to look at your top 4. And that happens.
Oh yeah.
Ew.
It's brutal.
Yeah.
Like I
I
was.
had something of the like happen one time.
Like I wanted to run a Bane of Progress, but I'm like, that doesn't get rid of these annoying Theros god. Is there something in a way I can get rid of them? Oh, cool. There's a one.
Oh, that did get rid of the
Oh, well, they have those.
the Avernus, Karlak.
Yeah, Karlak's back.
Yeah, that's my That's my oopsie, but whatever.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
I mean, I have big worms.
Anyone got a graveyard shuffle? Ready to shuffle my graveyard back in.
I do have a not Time Twister, the 500 one, because I don't own a Time Twister because it's a bit too expensive.
Yep. Yeah. I don't think Time
Yeah,
Twister should be legal in the format, but that's just me.
Yeah, probably not.
It's
I'll stay back.
it is far too strong.
Guess I'll do this because I have the mana right now.
Really?
Why that and not the? Well, this wouldn't ever anything, but
Because I can bounce something else when casting the creature.
oh, okay.
But
Oh yeah, adventure. Yeah,
I mean, I just got
because-
picked apart pretty hard, right?
yeah.
I lost
I would.
far more than everyone else.
I expected you to have more basics, to be honest.
3 or 4 of them are in the graveyard because I've been discarding them the mask.
Makes sense.
Really should have gotten a glass of water before this game started.
Got a what? Glass of water?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got time now.
What? Yeah. What are you waiting for?
Let's go ahead and mute it and I'll be back.
That's right. That's right. You said Sig Slime destroy one of my basics. You will.
I get a better target.
You got a better target? Oh
yeah,
my
this
word.
is an artifact.
I forget that. Yeah, it's fine. Wormy! No! Patrick, he ate Wormy! And free to worm. I tried to give Asgard at least a small chance. Very small.
Okay, I'm back.
Alright.
I
Well,
did that thing where you move something in your kitchen and then you have no idea where you moved it to afterwards. So I was like, where in the world are my plastic cups? 'Cause I did not want to wash a cup afterwards.
Yep.
take this 5 damage with pride.
That would be a really cool time to draw land.
Please land for Asgard, please.
Well, it's not a land, but I can see if I'm going to get a land next.
Is it Corsair Crucifix?
Oh,
Oh.
Oh, the Zero Menagerie. Okay. You should have gone to the. Oh wait, no, that's the Undercity that gives you.
I
a
get to
land.
draw a card from Lost Mines of Fandelver.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I get a
didn't you
wolf.
Go... Oh, cool. Why? Next time you go into the dungeon, go to the one that gives you a treasure token.
I did go into the one that gave me a treasure token. Somebody
Oh.
blew it up.
Oh, oops. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I got hit by that thing real hard too.
Yeah, you had the most things for it to just.
I will say it's taunting me.
Oh, there's a land on top, isn't it?
Yep. I didn't draw it, but it's on top.
That's nice.
At least you know.
Hope for next
Now you
turn.
know.
Oh yeah, I love being in mono green and having my 5th land on turn 10.
Yeah, that's painful.
If I could donate you some lands, I would.
Ugh. Honestly, due to the fact that I keep drawing the giant half of my deck, it's probably a better idea to not give me lands.
All right, let's see what PJ gets this time.
Wild Devils. Wildfire Devils. Here we go.
Is it pick?
Oh, it chose me.
What do you got? Nothing?
I got nothing.
Oh,
I haven't ramped all game.
Oh, very sad. I'm at a basics, so like it probably doesn't ramp. Probably doesn't actually help me.
Nope.
You know, unless I had like a crop rotation or something.
Only thing that would help you is my Hour of Promise that's in my yard.
Yeah, that one would work.
That finds any land. I am running 3 cards that find me any land to find my utility land.
Just so much stuff.
I think you should hold back.
I feel like I'd be having a better time if I played the monkey deck just because it has a lower mana curve.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, a lot of apes are pretty low mana.
Yep.
They're either very low or incredibly high. There is no in between.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is a fun tribe.
You do run into the bad game where you just can't draw land.
Unfortunately, it seems to happen on camera an awful lot with you.
Yeah, I run a little bit more ramp and lands typically. Well, I've been cheating on my land count a bit. God, I have to
Oh no,
discard
I'm
again.
talking about like it seems like every time I'm on camera, whenever you're recording a game, I do one of two things. I either do nothing because I'm not able to draw anything, or I end up sneaking out a win from somewhere.
Yeah.
That tends to be the same for me, with the more higher likelihood of just puttering out and not doing anything.
Yeah. Which reminds me, I really want to revisit my my Boros enchantments deck because that's a lot of fun.
I've tried to make that work with Iroas a few times and it just never works out for me. Not saying it can't be done, but it's
I think that's actually who I think that's actually who it is.
yeah. I've tried it a number of times. Honestly, the biggest problem, I mean, it's getting better, but the card draw was always kind of an issue. And then there's also there's the problem that you just don't have like much of a board presence. Like people are just like, oh, you don't have the creatures, cool, I'll just attack you.
That's why most of my enchantments create creatures.
Yeah. Yeah, it's something I've looked at a few times. I've tried it out like real briefly one time, and I'm just like, didn't care for it, and didn't feel like putting the effort in to try to make it playable.
It was an awful lot of fun. It was an awful lot of fun. I think because you have like things like Archons of Sun's Grace and like a Johnny's Chosen and whatnot to make creatures for you, along with Assemble the Legion being Assemble the Legion.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it's probably getting better than it was, but I tried playing it and I'm just like, this is a hard deck to play. Just not having a great time because I'm not much of an Enchantress guy anyway.
I think that's why I love enchantments. I even have Farika with Omori as the companion for enchantment.
Oh yeah, full enchantments. Yep.
Yep, it's a lot of fun too.
Yeah, I mean
that
just works a lot better in green than it does in white red.
I mean, like, it works well in white because white has a lot of enchantment searchers.
Yep.
But it's just that green has, more card draw in their enchantments. The problem being is, like, neither one of them do very well with removal. And that's just, like, a downside of, like, building a mostly enchantment deck is the removal is you have to take out, more enchantments for removal. And then you're like, well, is it an enchantment deck at this point or not?
Yep.
Well, that's why you use your enchantments as removal, man.
Not a lot of enchantments actually remove things like you have like your banishing lights and whatnot, and like in black you have oubliette, but other than that, there's not very much. And even then, somebody wipes the enchantments, they get their board back.
Yeah,
it does like feel good. Cleansing and
there's the seal cycle that gets rid of like artifacts and enchantments in your colors. Seal of Primordium, and also seal of Dew.
We're in December. I get to play my Christmas deck now.
Ho.
The leader is the leading commander for it is Marwyn the Nurturer. It's an elf tribal deck, and the entire way to win is Helix Pinnacle because Helix Pinnacle looks like a Christmas tree, so the elves have the power of the Christmas tree.
Nice. Yeah,
nice, I love it.
I imagine it doesn't take that long with that deck. Marwyn is stupid.
Yeah, I had to put in some combos in it, and it's still like, either I want to do infinite combos or I want to take them out because I just don't care for infinites.
Yeah, I don't either.
It always feels bad. Like, the only time like I'll play infinites is in paper. I have a Planeswalker deck that goes infinite, and it's Astrid Super Friends.
Yeah.
Because you put an enchantment on your the Chain Veil, and you put an enchantment on any 2 lands that make multiple colors, and you can continually activate the Chain Veil.
Oh, yep.
I guess going in the sky is working out for me. So let's put another big flyer.
Oh my.
Wow.
That do happen to be a flyer, and it do happen to be big. However, it does another thing I don't like.
Draw some
cards.
cards.
I don't even know what to bounce.
Bounce like a bow wow.
The funny thing is I can bounce my own stuff
If
I want to flicker them or something. Like I could bounce my Acidic Flame to replay it, but
bounce Karuga so you can draw more cards.
that would be a good idea, but I don't have much of a follow-up with that. Yes, I'll bounce Mangara just because
Really?
denied a draw.
Really?
If it makes you feel any better, I wasn't playing two spells on my turn.
Yeah, but it's just the like because now my mana is terrible because I lost a million lands and
All the treasures
having
in
to
the world.
recast a 4-drop every turn is real painful.
Hmm.
That's actually why I ended up scooping against Delta whenever I was using the Optimus Prime deck, is because I got under this thumb of not being able to actually play anything anymore.
Right.
Yeah, but at that point I have a mana doubler in basically infinite card draw, so that didn't
Yeah,
help.
it was ridiculous.
Okay. Farhaven up. Get some more lands.
Yeah, as I said, this deck has like 20 sources of ramp because everything costs 3 or more.
Oh yeah.
That now, just because I can look at the top card of my library, it's always going to be a land so that I can't cast creatures off the top of it.
Probably.
Oof.
Thinks it's gonna be annoying at some point. I can't.
Shigeki!
I'm loving him more and more I play him.
He's a really nice card.
Just regrowth, but crazier.
The regrowth that can potentially be more than that. And his other ability that's not discarding him is actually nice too.
Yeah. I can't get back legendary things, but who cares?
Oh, you just regrowth Shigeki with like Ball Again Recovery or something.
Sky Turtle also. Like if you're inside Simic over there, you can do Sky Turtle and Shigeki.
Yeah, the turtle is nice, and this might not surprise you guys, but I have it in this deck.
Yeah.
Because, it's a big creature that can be used earlier in the game for other effects.
I run two ways to shuffle my own graveyard in, so that I can use Shigeki to get back those spells, so I can redraw Shigeki. Gotta have a late game grind sometimes, you know? Tap out because I don't has.
Sons of Fandelver is just the best dungeon. It's so nice to go through.
Draw a
it.
card. I like the one that's got not the tomb, the other one. I forget the name of it.
Dungeon of the Mad Mage?
Mage.
Yeah, Mad Mage has
That's
some
my
cool
personal
stuff.
favorite.
Yeah, Mad Mage has some cool stuff in it.
It does. It's just it feels like, I mean, with this deck, if I have enough mana for a full turn cycle of flashing things in, I can get through the Lost Mines of Fandelver.
Yeah.
Are you?
Yep.
Are you running like initiative cards also?
There's only like 2 initiative cards, and like neither one of them are really worth playing in this deck because
Well,
the
it's only
green initiative cards that are on MTGO are pretty high mana, so it's like, do I run it just for the initiative or what? Because you can't go into another dungeon while you're inside of a dungeon, so you can't go into.
Oh, okay. Yep.
yeah.
Yeah. So it's just got awkward timing to it. I tried it before, and it was just such awkward timing of trying to get to it, so I was like, just might as well not.
Yeah, because the Undercity is pretty good as a dungeon.
Oh yeah, the Undercity's a good dungeon. It's just a matter of, doing anything with it.
All right, what you gonna get there, PJ?
I don't know. You never really know.
It's gonna be one of
Well-
Delta's this time.
Do I get you to draw 3 cards or draw 3 cards and you can play an extra land? I guess you can draw 3 cards and not have the other effect. Would have been nice if I get my Sphinx.
I'll take a Harmonize.
Somehow, I'm the only deck that has removal spells in their graveyard. Besides, PJ has one path.
Yeah, I haven't really drawn much removal this game.
I haven't drawn many cards.
Brinelin is like my biggest form of removal in the deck. Temporary removal, but it's annoying to have to recast every time, so it works.
Yeah, if you didn't play the Sphinx, I was probably gonna Shidiki to kill your little Kraken guy, because that's annoying.
Here we go.
Well, he found something. Is it a Wrath?
Yep.
Oh boy. Here comes 13 turns, guys. 4 mana, is it Wrath of God? 5. Definitely not Blast or Command. Beautiful.
Destroying everything.
Yes. Gonna reset that game. Oh, he has a T-Pro.
Not my stuff.
I figured the T-Pro. Well, it's a thing.
Since everyone wants to like bounce and blow my stuff up.
Well, at least I
At
got
least I have a good thing in hand to rebuild.
Yeah, you got a lot of mana. You should be alright.
I have a lot of mana, and you'll see when my turn gets around. This is a good thing for the table that I'm getting blown up here.
Oh, yeah. I bet it is.
Boom.
Oh, that's right. My thing dies, I get 1/1s. Hooray.
Yeah, you're not empty-handed. It's always good.
Not empty boarded. I can still block PJ. All that matters. Kill that Flamekin Village.
God, I have so many cards in hand. Ugh.
Discard them all.
Those ones that do good effects, those are the ones that you discard.
Yeah.
This has been a
Archetype of Aggression, such a cool card.
What card is?
Archetype of Aggression.
Yeah. I never ran it for years and years, right? Like, if you go back and look at Boros decks from like 6, 7, 8 years ago, a lot of people used to run it back then, and I was always kind of just like, meh, it just seems like an early drop that gets blown away in a board wipe, which is like still kind of true. But when you look at how much trample green decks have, it's a pretty big deal, right? Like, you can not die to a crater hoof if they don't have a million creatures because they lose trample,
You
right?
can
Like,
jump.
yeah, exactly, right? Like, it keeps your ability to chump block, and also, like, I also find that, like,
I'm
even...
sorry, how big does that thing get?
as big as I choose it to get.
Oh, that thing? Yeah, I died to that thing one time.
You did.
Yeah, that's something with that you can get rid of the trample with the
Yeah.
archetype.
It's the only reason why I run Snowlands.
Makes sense.
All right, now I'm gonna poke at Delta for a couple.
That's entirely fine. Not like I can fight back.
I mean, yeah, well, I'm gonna make sure I have enough blockers for PJ.
That's also a good idea.
At worst, I will, like, when I was in the early builds of this deck, before I put my ways to shuffle my graveyard in, I would draw myself out with Greater Good in response to me dying.
Yeah, that's the thing you can do. Card draws a little too much.
Well, when all your creatures are gonna draw you like 6 to 8.
Yep. Yeah, Greater Good's, like, pretty busted. Like, dare I say it's problematic. I've been jumped on Twitter before when I'm saying that, but, like, it generates an unfair amount of resources. Now, you need specific decks to play it. You can't run it in, like, every single thing, but in the decks where it's good, it is unfair.
All decks with a lot of creatures that are power 4 or greater, so you can always go hard.
Yeah, I mean, it tends to just be, like, your big green ramp decks, right?
You know when I said that I could do some pretty nutty stuff on my turn?
Okay.
This turns everything nutty.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
that does. Yeah, that's a wild card.
Of course, I have no idea what I'm getting with it, but
You're gonna
Gonna get
cascade.
things and stuff and stuff and also things.
Nice.
Did I mention also stuff? Oh, look, a sword tooth, something that Asgard could use to find those lands. Play
Yeah.
them off the top.
I can't play them off the top with that.
Oh, you're
wish
right.
I could.
Oh, you're right. Oh, yeah, that's right. You need
It's
one of
okay.
two.
It's turn 11. I'm bound to start hitting my ramp spells soon.
Sorry, man.
The only hand that I had out of those 3 mulligans was that had ramp spells.
Oh, God.
Was one of them had 3 ramp spells, but no actual like lands.
Ooh, Praetor's Council.
That sucks, man. That's just... This game's been long, too, which doesn't make it feel any better.
Oh, don't you fucking dare.
Language...
Oh, sorry. Sorry. My bad. Bleep that out in the edit.
Did he just say language?
Pull the Farscape and just put Frelling.
You're
You
the
know-
one who said language.
So you know what's interesting? When you start a YouTube channel, like, you know, not a lot of people know this, I guess, like, unless you start a YouTube channel, but when you start a YouTube channel, you kind of have to decide, like, what kind of YouTuber are you? Do you swear, right? Like, are you family friendly?
Yeah.
And, you know, basically, in terms of the Magic space, are you Saffron Olive or are you Pleasant Kenobi, right? Or, you know, somewhere in
Yeah.
the middle, right?
That's
And-
what I.
It's a weird decision that you have to make, like, kind of early, right? And I chose to go the family friendly route because I'm not like, I mean, I swear it a little bit, but I'm not like PK where like he just kind of like has a dirty mind and makes dirty jokes all the time. Like, I don't have that naturally. And anyway, like, as I've kind of gone, you know, we're like 6 years into this YouTube channel, you know, the bulk of my audience is like men 18 to 40, right? That's like where 96% of my audience is. So it's like, by not swearing, like, who am I really catering to? Because, like, there are very few people, like, almost no one below, like, high school age. Shout out to all the high schoolers watching this show. But, like, you know, almost the main demographic for the channel is, like, 18 to 40. So it's like, if a swear comes out every here and there, I've kind of just, I've been more lax about it, but sometimes I'll censor it just because I think it's funny. But
yeah,
not because I like
Censoring-
actually care that much, but
yeah. Censoring makes it funny for some reason because we know what's there.
yeah, right. But like, I swear like a sailor on Twitter, And I'm just like, no remorse about that. I don't know. It's a weird thing you have to decide, right? You're like, oh,
Yeah.
what kind of language do I use when I'm speaking?
It's also kind of funny that like some people will choose to be people that will like swear like a sailor, and then on YouTube it's completely family friendly because um have you guys watched a YouTuber that's the Monologues? He has like 8 different YouTube channels.
No, I don't know them.
He does a lot of top tens for card games. I found him through his Yu-Gi-Oh top tens, but he also does Magic top tens, Pokemon top tens, a lot of different stuff. But I caught one of his actual like streams, and he swears so much in the streams. But whenever he goes to edit it into a video, he edits over with just another word. I think it's palmu, just repeatedly every like 2 seconds. It's palmu, palmu, palmu.
Oh, okay, I
Well,
see. Yeah, so he uses like a sound effect for his sensor, basically.
Yeah,
Yep.
and I think that is really funny whenever somebody just uses a sound effect over as their sensor.
Yeah.
Oh my god, please, Lance, where are you? Draw spells, where are you? Like I keep looking back at my deck list to make sure that I have lands and draw spells in it.
Asgard, if we ever meet up in person, uh, you can put a sandwich on my tab because this game is rough. Currently, I owe about 6 people sandwiches for various in-game things over the years.
You know what? You know what? I'll take this as the payback of nobody touching the biovisionaries, and then me spending the last like 10 minutes of the game creating like 20 biovisionary copies.
hey, BJ, it looks like you're finally getting one of my spells.
No, it's me. It's on me. What am I getting?
I'm
Austere command again.
do it again.
Do
it again.
I'm all set on the austere command. Hold on. Do I have anything left on this tithe? Mistveil Plains is already in there. Sacred Foundry's already in there. Is there a plateau still in the deck? I think it might be. Could use the land. Oh, I think there's the Alpine one. I think is still in here too. Okay, yeah, let's tithe.
Although we keep getting more dual type lands.
Yeah, that was really nice. Like Alpine Meadow was such a big pickup for me, especially
Yeah,
like
and then immediately in Brothers of War after that we got another one. I don't know what it is, but we did get one.
Plateau went down somewhere, but there's an Alpine Meadow. That's exciting.
Yeah,
I really like the card from right. I don't remember the name of the set
Oh,
right
the
now.
plateau's in your graveyard right next to the Brave of the Sands.
Oh, I didn't see it. Yep, I was looking, didn't see it, but at least
I really like the tap lands with the land types.
Yeah, like because especially if you were in enemy colors with like if you were in enemy colors and couldn't afford revised duels, you only had one land that you could go get, right? And that's like not great.
Land, yeah.
Now there's at least 2, and that is very, very nice. What am I doing this turn? I need to do things that. Which player with 20 cards in hand is more scary?
Well, he destroyed my greater good, so I made sure I sacked my big worm.
Which honestly
No,
was fine with me. So like that, I don't get. I don't have to deal with the worm swinging at me.
I mean,
Eight,
I say hit
9,
high.
10.
I say hit highest life total. Kill the blue player. Always kill the blue player.
Yeah, the bouncing is a problem.
Yeah. I'm not even going to try to hide. It's probably a good idea to swing stuff at me, especially not letting Imoti live.
Yeah, that's all.
Especially since you've seen off my hand.
Yeah,
since that was my graveyard a minute ago.
Oh, we have a white mana problem. Okay, can't do that. Can do this one. Oh god, nope. Do that. We need to cast things correctly here. Yeah, let's get this old gem.
All right, let me go ahead and mute.
Okay. Well, that's an Aurelia.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we just bring the pain.
That fiend over there.
I mean, I'm betting nobody's going to attempt to hit me anyway, but I have to go do something very quickly. But I'll be back before my turn.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to make sure you have 6 and all that. Do you want to tap if you have nothing going on? Oh, you have a Team or Sabertooth.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna get some attacks.
Ooh, 3 attacks.
Yep. With a weird. It's a lot better with Brave the Sands when they have Vigilance. That's for sure.
Well, Delta, you might as well block what you can.
Yeah.
They do all have Trample because that's the name of the game.
Yeah, but I can at least kill your commander.
Hopefully.
You could, but why would you want to?
Why would they not want to?
Well, everything is trample, so yes, I'll reduce damage. Doesn't matter what I block.
Yeah, you reduce 2 whole damage.
I'm going to be greedy and keep Imoti back, though.
Okay. Yeah, just on the off chance that this is somehow not enough damage.
Yeah, I mean, you get 2 more attacks. But,
Yeah, I have not done the math. I assume this will be enough attack. I'll tell you what, playing on Magic Online is glorious because in paper you have to count all this stuff and it's god awful.
yeah.
You're just like, the Magic Online, like, this seems like enough. I don't know, just send it. It'll work itself out.
Math is for blockers.
+1/+1 counters are really annoying to deal with in paper.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's certain effects that just not a great time when.
Oh yeah, fun fact. I've been sitting on an Evaneros disc since like turn 3.
Oh yeah.
For a good while, I had good enchantments out and that I didn't want to lose, and then I didn't really have the time to set it up.
Normally when I cast my Wave of Vitriol, I usually have like 2 enchantments I want in play. I'm like, well, I have to get rid of this artifact player deck over here.
I had Teferi's Protection when you cast Wave of Vitriol. I sort of intentionally didn't leave it up because I don't know. It's like Teferi's it's a very broken card, and based on where I was, like there wouldn't be much of a game with it. You know what I mean?
I understand.
Because I was very far ahead when all that happened, right? And now I'm kind of struggling to.
You're back in it.
I'm kind of back in it now, but I don't have the resource production that I had. Like almost all of my resource production's in the graveyard, right? Like I'm kind of strapped on mana. We're not really drawing cards anymore. We're not making extra mana, So it's all a thing. How much is that? That's 14. Yeah, we got to make sure. So we'll send both of these, and then I think D-Manny gets a little loving on this one.
I'm gonna dig one more to see if I find something, because I didn't find what I want to cycle this away.
Wow, things happened.
Ah.
I guess if I didn't play the elf, I could have used the capsizing wave part of Swordcore Serpent to bounce something.
Bounce your own thing, yeah.
I mean, maybe not one of my own things. One of your things, so I don't die.
Yeah, that's fair.
But, we're on turn 12, and
yeah, it was starting to get late.
Hog.
Yeah, it was starting to get late in the game. I'm like, I don't want to just like win with the Fairies Protection because I do that so much, and like, then I'm like, all right, now the game's just like stalled and like no one can get through. So like board wipe to Fairies. Okay, let's get this thing moving.
Like, I know it was nowhere near as good, but what do you think about the Stasis Coffin?
I haven't even seen it. What's it do?
I think it's like half of Teferi's where you exile it and you only get to. And it gives you protection from everything.
Okay, but it doesn't protect your creatures.
I think so. I'm not sure. I'm double checking right now.
There's a time and a place, right? Like it's probably not as good as Teferi's Protection, but last I looked, Teferi's was reasonably expensive. So
yeah, you gain you tap it and exile it. You gain protection from everything until your next turn is a 3-mana artifact. Yeah,
that's a perfectly legit card, right? Like anything that that makes it difficult for people to interact with your life totals, or it's like a fog, anything that's like that is generally going to be decent.
Yeah. So I almost lived. If it was only first strike and not double strike.
Yeah, the double strike. The double strike on the. All right, so there's a couple little achievements here. Good game, by the way.
Yeah, good game.
Good game. A couple little achievements going on with this deck that I'd like to point out. One, I don't think I've ever gotten Markov Blade Master this big, because it always just dies to a board wipe, immediately. And 2, I've never gotten this many triggers with Wildfire Devils before either, for the same reason of it just dies immediately.
That makes for a probably really nice game to watch too.
I don't know about that, but it makes it exciting for me. Because these are the whole reasons I built the original version of the deck, and they literally just never stay in play ever. You're like, oh, this sucks, right? Like, I wanted to use these fun cards, and they never survive.
Yeah, don't worry, Asgard. You get to do a cool thing on your turn next.
Oh God, Great Aurora.
No, look, he can ult his Walker next.
Oh, did we not pay attention to that?
No, because he hasn't been doing anything.
Oh yeah, okay.
I noticed I didn't want to put attention to it to give him a chance to maybe get it.
Yeah, based on the game.
At this point, all the creatures I would like to get from it are pretty much in my hand at this point.
Oh no, that sucks.
Yeah, because obviously you want to get your top end stuff.
Yep.
But I drew all of that at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate when that happens.
Yeah,
when I was playing, a Patreon submitted me their Aurelia deck. that I posted, I think, last week. And the first game that I tried to film with it, they only had 2 5-drops in the deck. It's Neheb and Stonehewer Giant. I had them both in my opener, and someone wheeled them, and I'm just like, wow, this sucks, right? Like, now there's literally no big things left in the deck to get for, like, later in the game. And it's weird when you get all your big stuff up front, and the timing of drawing stuff is...
Speaking of wheels, with how often you end up playing wheels, I was just like, BJ will wheel it at some point.
He's gonna wheel at some point, yeah. It's real easy when Wheel of Fortune is not $1 million on Magic Online. It is much harder in paper.
Speaking of wheels, I was also sitting on Windfall, but I had good stuff in hand, like my Praetor's Console, so I didn't want to use it right away.
Yeah, that's a trick. That's tricky too. I find myself wanting to use wheels a bit less than I used to, just because there are better options now. Like, I really lean hard on Showdown of the Skalds and Ignite the Future, because you're not drawing your opponent's cards, and because you're not having to give stuff up in your hand. Like, if you have it to fairies in your opener, like, you're not using that wheel until you burn the to fairies, right? Like, it's just, that kind of thing. And yeah.
I do like that Red has gotten a lot of the chaos draw.
Yeah, I saw a new one when I was playing yesterday. Oh God, what's it called? It's in the Baldur's Gate set.
It's the Tavern Brawler background, I think.
No, not that one. Oh God, I'm not prepared. Am I prepared for this?
You're prepared enough. Yeah, it's fine.
What does this say?
I make 4/4 for each creature, and they fight. So I'll kill 2 of your creatures, and I'll lose 2 of my.
That's a card I probably would want for this deck, but it's one of the expensive ones.
Wildfire Devils, we hardly knew ye.
Draw some more cards.
Oh God.
Wow, you only have 29 cards left in deck.
I know, right? It's
Jeez,
amazing.
you're gonna deck yourself.
Or am I?
The funny thing is, if I had somehow lived on my turn, I could have killed you with the Windfall.
Yep. Windfall. Gotcha.
2 here now. I have 10 mana left.
In a real weird game one time, someone was playing Rat Colony, and then the blue player, overloaded a rift, putting, after they had gone off with a Thrumming Stone, so like 50 rats into their hand, and then cast a Windfall, so we all drew like 50. I think it was like 47 was the actual number. And I was the first person to go after all that happened, so I did my turn, and I was like, Wheel of Fortune, everyone goes back down to 7, everyone discard 47.
Boom.
I still lost to the Brea deck because it was a Brea deck, but it was a fun moment.
Let's shuffle my graveyard.
Hey, stop gaining life! I'm trying to kill you.
I have one of these too.
I don't know what you're talking about, BJ.
Stop gaining life. No more gaining life.
I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, cool. Let's see. What do you care about most, PJ, on your board? Which feature?
All of it. It's all important.
Okay. Pick a number, 1 or 2.
2.
2. Okay. Hey. That.
Sure, I'm not gonna like this.
I found the Bouncer's Beatdown I was talking. It's going exile-y. Bye-bye.
Aw. My Blade Master and my Wildfire Devils.
I will begin combat, and I will not allow...
Well, that's just mean.
The one, Adam.
That's just mean.
You could try again soon. Boop.
I mean, it's turn 12. I don't know that this game's going that much longer.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I'm gonna try to close down out in like a 2, but, I have to set up this first. Set up a Zendikar Resurgence, then...
I know it has to, but it always feels very smarmy of MTGO to be like, hey, you got no creatures, you want to assign some blockers?
Yeah, like, thanks. Yeah. Thanks for reminding me. Appreciate that.
Or when everything, it cannot be blocked.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like, you want to assign some blockers? And it's like, yes, I would love to assign some blockers.
Yeah.
Asgard, I was surprised you didn't save your commander and your Sabertooth. You had 2 mana open. Oh, it's a human. Only bounces a human? No, it's another creature.
It is another creature. I just wasn't paying attention because I thought I only had 1 open.
Gotcha. Understandable.
I was dealing with 4 mana for so long, it's weird having 5.
At least you're not Krim from Commander Clash. It seems to always stuck on 3. What do I discard? Maybe...
I have 10 hours at work to listen to podcasts, so obviously I listen to their podcast for Commander Clash, and I'm like, just run more lands. Come on, man.
Yeah.
They are.
So, I'm not trying to call you out or anything, but like a lot of people are like, "Oh, I got land screwed, blah blah blah. This never happens." And like statistically, like cuz like I play with the same people over and over again, like I see the trends of who gets land stuck more than others, and a lot of times, like not every time, but a lot of times it's attributed to deck building. And then it's deck building followed by mulligan choice. And a lot of people just don't run enough lands, don't run enough ramp, and then some people cry when things go wrong, and it's just like you're trying to battle like statistical odds, right? Like,
Yeah.
I never get mana screwed on 34 lands and have 7 drops in my deck. What? Of course you're gonna get mana screwed, right? It's I'd be surprised if you didn't get mana screwed in a game, right?
They
I'm running 37 in this deck, and I still think I probably should run like one or two more.
They just choose to forget the ones that.
Yeah, exactly, right. That's exactly what it is. People block out the ones who are like, "Oh, I had a complete non-game," and then But like, yeah, like when I turn the camera on, and like I get it, Magic Online is like it's a little different than paper. Like it just the distribution isn't the same, and I actually think that like I always used to think that like Magic Online didn't randomize very well, but I watched some math YouTube channels every once in a while, and like what I think actually happens is that there is some amount of like I don't know, for lack of a better word, I'll call it ESP when shuffling a deck in paper that like just makes it so your lands are going to be like a little more evenly distributed, because randomized does not mean evenly distributed. Randomized means like truly random, which means you can have 7 lands in a row or not 7 lands in a row, right? But like the way we shuffle in paper, like, you kind of put the lands back in your deck, not all in one spot, and then you shuffle. So you get like, so it is a reasonable distribution. And Magic Online is not forgiving about the word random. So anyway,
yeah,
it's my spiel.
Usually with a paper deck, your lands end up in clump because when you shuffle back up after a game, usually you have, even if you separate them, there's some amount of lands that are together right away.
Yep.
I would like to say that out of my entire deck, there are only 28 cards at 4 CMC or greater. That includes all the 4 CMC. Everything else is lower or lands, and I'm still getting hit this hard.
Yeah, man, that's brutal. Like, by this point, you should have drawn lands, right? It's turn 13. Like, regardless of what happened, right? Ridiculous. You should have just run into lands by this point.
I should have run into lands or any of the land ramp or statistically, any of these other spells. I have drawn 1, 2, 3 spells this entire game that have been less than 4 CMC.
Yeah, that's just.
Yeah. It's pretty bad.
Yep, it is in fact pretty bad.
That's even worse than when I kept a 1 lander with this deck, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll be perfectly fine. I have 2 2-mana ramp, 2 3-mana ramp. I'll draw a land by turn 4. I don't draw a land until PJ Wheels on turn 8, and there was only 2 lands in that 7.
Was that this deck?
Yes, it was this one.
Yeah, because like we obviously see like how much mana your deck can generate, right? And yeah, like there are just weird things that happen sometimes, which
I mean, it's like it was a risky hand. I'm like, if I just draw 1 land in the first 3 turns, which statistically you should, it's like, but no, I would have been set. This game I drew almost every piece of ramp.
Asgard, I'm sorry about this, but I'm trying to get this thing flipped.
I'll allow it. I could not.
I fully understand that you're not the threat, but after he blew up all my lands, I've really struggled on mana here.
I get it. Yeah. I just would have been happier if I would have gotten the plants too.
I probably could have negotiated that deal with you. I'm sorry.
The law of randomization is crazy because. So I don't know how many turns it was until I drew that 4th land, but those 3 lands that I had for the longest time were the lands in my opening hand.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
After I mulliganed it down to 5 from having 1 lander or 0 landers before that from my mulligans.
Yeesh.
Like the first hand was playable with 2 lands, but it had no ramp, no card draw, and a high cost in it. I was like, I can mulligan into something much, much better.
Right.
And I don't like mulliganing down past 5, especially when I've got 3 lands in hand.
No, for sure. 6 is fine. Like 5 is very difficult.
Yeah. It's just I would have kept the 6 if I would have had a single land in it, because I also had I had Elvish Mystic and Rampant Growth in that hand. So if I would have had a singular land, I would have been fine, but just didn't have one.
Yeah, that's rough.
But so save the gods of randomness sometimes.
Yep.
Some games you play and you've got as many things and you're just flashing in things on the end step of everybody's turn, and then other games you get this where the shuffler decides to take you out back and then just stab you with a shiv repeatedly.
Yep. Some games you play, some games you get played.
Yep.
Hey, at least we're not playing 60 card formats where you mulligan, you scry. You do something where you scry a card to the bottom and you just draw that card the next turn.
Yep. Oh yeah. I always wanted to design a Magic card called like the Ghost of Wolpert. Is that his name? The guy that used to be in charge of MTGO. Wolpert, I think is his name. And anyway, I wanted to make a card like dedicated to him that was like search target player's library and put 7 lands on top of it.
That's head games.
Head games isn't that good, right? That's what someone said, but I'm like, no, I really wanted to make it like painful. Like, no, you will never draw a card that matters again. Nykthos.
This is the more powerful version of it, so I need to have all the mana in the world.
They need to reprint that card into a more financially
100
sustainable place, because like when you were asking about mono white earlier, like I find that the thing that you have to do to compete with a mono white deck, you probably need to be running Weathered Wayfarer with Nykthos, and Nykthos is not cheap. So
the Swag Worm.
Oh yeah, this is a great card. Great creature removal card.
I love the Swag Worm.
Oh yeah,
First time I was introduced to the Swag Worm was in high school, or not high school, in college, and my one buddy had his Swag Worm altered so that he was wearing a lot of gold chains.
Nice. The Swag Worm, yeah, love it.
See this worm gets around first strike because as soon as it blocks something, it goes, you're dead.
Yep.
We were also playing 60 card kitchen table shenanigans, so he would slap lore onto it. And
so PJ, it's time for you to say the thing whenever you see this card.
Oh god, what is it? Is it Eternal Witness? Freaking hate Eternal Witness.
No. Come on, Magic Online, stop messing up on the last mana. Clicking the last mana 50 times. There you go.
Oh yeah. No, I've got my whole spiel on the green and haste. Don't love it. Do not love it.
Man, if I would say there was a legendary creature that gives a haste, what color would you expect it to be? Not green.
Yep. Yeah. So I would
at least not mono green.
Yep. I've said it a few times recently in videos, so I feel like I've worn it out a little bit, but
yeah.
Probably should put that in I should probably get one of these for this deck.
Yeah, it's good.
Like my one source of haste is Akrama's Monument.
Yep.
A memorial part of
That's a pretty good source of haste, though.
Yeah, and I like stuff that's 6 or more, so get Cascade with Emoti.
I have 2 decks in paper that run Akrama's Memorial, and that card is still just a beating. That card is ridiculous.
I thought about it for here. It probably would work well in here, but I'm like, I already have enough Hydra.
I keep forgetting to auto the Mauler. We're gonna remember on one of these triggers.
All right, let's hope I can draw my win condition to kill you guys. Did I draw one? Oh, I did draw one. Hooray! I'm happy. And I know I clap my hand.
At the end of this game, I'm going to show my hand because this is some shenanigans here.
Send me a screen print, and if I'm feeling spunky, I'll edit it into the video.
Sure, I'll go ahead and I'll just move that up to the side, and I'll just take it right now.
I think I remembered auto this time.
Okay. So now this should work the way I want. Well, I had a different trigger, but this should still work the same.
Oh god, it's back. How'd it come back?
Yeah. And the thing is, the Ibex will be getting haste on my Surak.
It's all a thing.
Yeah. I usually use Overwhelming Stampede for this trick, but Ibex works. This should kill everybody. Unless there's a fog.
Ugh.
Trust me, the 1 mana spell I drew was not fog.
You really gonna kill me with this thing again?
Yeah. La. I think plus 40 to all my creatures is probably enough.
Connor for Worm just isn't a way you expect to die.
Exactly.
When you shuffle up your cards, you're like, oh, it's the absolute last thing that's on your mind.
Yeah, this is the last thing on your mind. That's why it makes it amazing. Not skip the comment.
I don't know if anybody's going to be awake after this, or if obviously you're going to have to do some editing, PJ.
I tend to edit a little bit less on these things. I usually just kind of kill the dead space. I don't kind of edit. I don't go through I don't rewatch the entire thing and pull out everything that. Because what happens is when I call games by myself, I actually do tend to stutter a little bit, especially early in a video until I kind of wake up and my brain's kind of working the right way. So I cut a lot of that stuff out. But when I'm having normal conversation, I don't do that as much. So it's not really necessary. Yeah, it's pretty big.
There should be at least 100 damage coming at everybody. So
Even poor Garrick.
come up.
I came to play.
All right. So how does this work? Prevent all damage to be dealt to you and planeswalkers you control this turn. Restore what creature did my damage to that creature. Okay.
The creatures will reflect to themselves, basically.
So I'm just gonna wonder how this will. No, yeah, no, because this gives us that.
Is it gonna be rammed through again?
So this will go on this. From Brothers War, we got
Oh, what the hell?
Gaia's Gift.
Oh, you're gonna keep one alive? Okay.
Yeah, the one that's killing you.
Oh, BJ, I sent you that screenshot.
Cool. I'll try to remember to edit that in. No guarantees. No promises.
That's all right. I just want you to see what that is because
yeah, man, I feel bad because this game's been kind of long. Oh my god, I only have 6 minutes left on my clock. Wow, I've been playing real slow. Sorry, guys.
It's okay. It's okay.
Well, you've been doing a lot of things on your turns.
I
had some real crazy turns in there with a lot of actions.
Yeah, I understand, server wise why they can't let people make themselves have bigger clocks, but
Yeah.
really wish they could.
Honestly, I mean, this game I definitely just played slowly, but as you get later into the game, Magic Online just slows down a lot, right? You don't have the same responsiveness that you have early in the game, which is right now it's been hanging for about 5 seconds, just waiting for right.
Oh, wrong person. Oops. I thought that was attacking PJ.
It still prevents the damage.
Oh, okay, that's fine. And I pass it on to you then, PJ.
All right, let's see what I can do.
And you get around the worms.
Start pulling some rabbits out of a hat. AKA playing Magic.
You play Magic?
I do when I gotta pull a rabbit out of a hat.
Yeah, Magic Line has been lagging whenever I click my final source.
Okay, let's start with this.
It's Immune Steel. That's a card.
I got wrecked by this the other day. Kristen resolved one and blew up literally 6 of my permanents. It was not a great time. And I had a Tybalt's Trickery. I should have just countered it, and I didn't. And paid the price.
Even though it's one of the more lackluster, it does work when you're in the right meta.
Sure. I mean, I think it does work most of the time. Because it's protection from Blasphemous Act, which is the most played removal spell in the format, especially in red. And just blowing up people's stuff is a very helpful tool. All right, 1 second. It's 5, 8, 9, 10. Oh, we're one short. We're one short to do both. Okay, well, we're still just gonna do this.
The thing that's coolest about Sinew and Steel is it can hit the person, but it doesn't have to destroy something that they control.
Right, exactly.
Okay. I'm gonna save my big wormy by making it too big for Sean. You are gonna die to this worm, PJ.
Trying not to. Really trying not to.
Oh, I know you're trying not to.
That puts me in a tough spot.
Yes, it does. You have 5 minutes left.
Ugh, that also puts me in a tough spot. We have any fog lands in this deck? So we probably need a fog land. That does have trample. Trample's unfortunate. I wanted the True Conviction before I did that, but I didn't have the mana. So we'll attack twice. You'll take 8. Crap.
Not dead.
Guess we have to loot? Yeah, if I landed the True Conviction there, that would be just an impossible amount of life to...
I could probably retire playing Worms on the channel for a while if it wins here. It got to have a redemption story. It started as doing nothing, and then slowly got better each time.
I am once again 1 mana short of doing what... No, I'm 2 mana short this time.
6 mana. So you need 6 mana to do the thing.
Yeah, it's a Steel Shaper's Gift, so...
Okay.
I mean, I attack and then it's already got 8 damage on it. That doesn't do that much. Oh wait. I mean, I guess I take a look.
I guess.
Actually, are there any Foglands? Fogland would help.
You have a Core Haven,
Nope, I do
Maze
not.
of Ith, Glacial Chasm.
Yeah, you got it. You got it. I can't get through it.
All right.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah, I should have just used the
I'll
fairies
show you-
earlier. But...
Show you the hand. I did have a Fog in hand.
Oh, did you? Okay, yeah.
Blessed Respite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Anyone have any final thoughts?
I'm just glad that I got to play the game.
Yeah, that's
Never
that
had
is a step
before in my life.
Yeah, that's kind of a step more than Asgard really got to do in this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also pretty much what I did last time.
I actually put my my hand in the actual Discord chat, so well, you saw my graveyard, but the rest is my hand. It was just awful.
Yeah, that's rough, man. Well, we saw a lot of my deck, and I had like a big lead early, so at that point, I was kind of slowing down a little bit just because it would have been over very quickly. If I've been sitting on Chandra's Ignition and True Conviction, I don't know, since like turn 6 or something. But anyway, hope you guys had fun, and I want to thank everyone for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.
Yeah.
See ya.
Bye.